Key to developing a robust Brexit preparation plan will be for you to understand fully your supply chains, both purchases from suppliers and sales to customers. You will need to look at these in a level of detail perhaps not previously done. You need to determine what you are buying and from whom. One aspect of the supply chain which will be important is economic origin. Where have your goods been manufactured? If the UK and EU enter into a free trade agreement, understanding the economic origin of your goods will be key to determining if your business could benefit from zero tariffs, i.e. no duty at import, which is a typical benefit of these agreements. This benefit is, however, only available where rules relating to the economic origin of the goods can be met. For example, if a UK manufacturer buys a component from a German supplier which was also manufactured there, we would expect, under a free trade agreement, for the UK business to be able to import that component into the UK duty-free. If, however, the German supplier had sourced that component from China, then the origin criteria would not be met and the UK business would need to pay the applicable tariff duty at import. This is regardless of the fact that the component had been procured from a German supplier. Understanding economic origin can be a complex exercise, so you should start to do this now to prepare for both a potential UK-EU free trade agreement and any UK third country free trade agreement which may be introduced in the future. Additionally, when reviewing your supply chains, you should include when and where the goods cross borders. Post-Brexit, the movement of goods across border between the UK and the EU will trigger compliance, registration and administrative requirements from a customs duty and VAT perspective, as well as financial costs linked to duty and increased freight forwarder costs. Before developing a strategy, you will need to understand what the risk points and potential liabilities are in your supply chain, based on your contractual agreements with suppliers and customers. Once you have identified these, your strategies should address in-country registration and reporting requirements for both customs duty and VAT, payment of customs duty and VAT, including minimising these through the use of potential duty reliefs, such as customs warehousing and processing, payment of increased freight forwarder costs, introduction of commercially beneficial Incoterms in contracts with suppliers and customers, and finally, obtaining trader assurance schemes such as AEO to gain fast-track port clearance benefits and to support the use of duty reliefs. When reviewing your supply chains, you may identify that you will need to carry out new reporting or compliance activities. For example, submitting customs declarations. If so, you should consider if you have the necessary data, resource and systems in place to manage this process compliantly. Customs authorities require detailed information and there are penalties for submitting wrong or inaccurate information. You may therefore need to develop expertise to understand customs information such as classification and its application to your products or materials. You may also need to update new systems to record and maintain this data and introduce new procedures and controls to manage your obligations. So when developing your Brexit preparation plan, you should understand your supply chain, including when and where the goods cross customs borders, determine the economic origin of the goods, identify what your contractual obligations with suppliers and customers are, identify your responsibilities and determine the likely resource, data and systems needs to meet these, look to introduce duty reliefs where appropriate, and finally, consider AEO to minimise risk in relation to supply chain disruptions caused by potential delays at port. Our customs specialists are currently helping clients to prepare for Brexit, and we offer a wide range of services to help you review and improve your supply chain. We also have a modelling tool to determine the duty and associated cost impact of a hard Brexit on your business's supply chain.